I'll be showing the basics for MMD right now, like how to use the software. First, you're going to want to download MMD. I already downloaded it. I recommend downloading this one that's not the 64-bit for encoder purposes. I have the 64-bit computer and this one works just fine. I already installed MMD, and it's not hard to install. It's like installing any other software. So once you've installed MMD, you're going to open the program and you're going to get this. And to load a model, you're going to click on where it says model manipulation, the red box. You're going to click on load. You're going to have files with all of these names, like these are the main vocaloids that come with MMD. And I don't really like them, to be honest, mostly because they don't have a mother bone, and a mother bone is to move like the whole model around without moving any other bones. And without the mother bone, you cannot bring your model to like do certain things. So like as I'm dragging it, her legs go like this, and that's not good. I don't know how to add mother bones, so I can't really help with that, but you can search a tutorial somewhere. To get models, I usually use DA, and to just look for one, you would just simply type in MMD and whatever kind of model you want. Let's say I want a Ren model, so I type in MMD Ren, and a whole bunch of stuff will come up. And then you just find a Ren model that you would want, and you would download it. So some models will not be up for download, so you gotta watch that. And it's not really polite to ask to put the download up because a lot of people who make models are very strict. Well, not really strict, but they don't want people to use their models for whatever reasons they have, and we have to respect that. Some models might have been taken down, like their downloads might have been taken down because people don't follow the rules, meaning they don't credit them or they edit them or redistribute the models. So after you found your model, you're gonna upload it through MMD. I'll just use Ren for the whole time. MMD can be slow sometimes and it can crash, so be careful. And if you're making an animation like your own, save constantly. Just save constantly. So you're gonna know if a model has a mother bone if you see this box down here. If you see this box down here and this whole thing is highlighted, but sometimes the mother bone won't be highlighted, but it's still a mother bone, and your model is going to move around like this and you won't have the leg problems. So I'll show you a comparison of that. Yeah, so to remove this border, the grid line, you would just simply click on the axis and it'll go away. To have like your emotion, like to make, if you're going to use someone else's motion, you would go to the file and you would click on load motion data, and then you would have all of your motions in the folder. You can find them on DA, YouTube, Nico Video. So I'm going to use I don't know if I have okay, here we go. Okay, this will work. I'll use decorator. Okay, that's for the camera. Oh wait, okay. So there's a difference between uploading for a camera and uploading for a model. You're gonna want to be on the model to have the motion on the model. So right now the model is here, then you upload the model, and then if it ever loads. Okay, so it's loaded. So she's moving. And then to load the camera, you would go to the camera. You have it on set to the camera, the light manipulation, and the accessories. And you would upload the camera unless there's no camera motion, and you would have, see, now you have the motion for the model and the motion for the camera. To upload the audio, you would load the WAV on the file, or wave, whatever you want to call it. And then you just upload it. But it needs, the music file has to be a WAV file, and using Audacity for that will be great. You can export it as a WAV file. It's a WAV file. I can't speak. I'll put all the links for the stuff that you need in the description. So after you've loaded the music and your model or models, you would render it to an AVI file. So we're just gonna name this as test. Now, oh wait, before that even happens, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So you would render it to AVI file. 60, have your frame rate your frames per second. I put it in 60. Oh wait, hold on. Alright, this is just a test. So you render it to 60 frames per second or 30, whatever you desire, and the recording is how many frames you want. I'm not going to render the whole thing because it will take a long time. So I'm just going to do the first 100 frames. I use FFD Show Video Encoder, and you click on OK. It's okay if it's slow or laggy, that's fine. It will not come up as slow or laggy on the video, like when it's done rendering and you load it in Windows Media Player or on YouTube. So after it's done rendering, you want to check to make sure that the video rendered good, like everything's okay. So I go all the way down here and check to see if it's okay, if it ever loads. That's just my computer being, so it works. It's good. And then you would just upload it to YouTube like that, or you can use a video software editor to make the video even better, or however you desire. You would just upload it regularly. I use Windows Movie Maker, so that's the basics for MMD, but to make your own animations, you would need a little bit further information because you need to know about the frames and how they work. So for the frames, to get from one thing to another, you would set it to whichever frame you want. So I'm going to start at 0. So let's say I want to have the camera at this angle for 15 frames. So I would register it, and then I would go to 15 frames, and I would register it there. And then let's say after 15 frames, I want to zoom in for like 15 more frames. You can use the unzip to navigate, or you can use the magnifying glass or the arrows to move around, and then you can right click to go upside down and whatnot. But I like to use the X, Y, and Z for more precise. And then I registered that there. So let's see. Okay, I'll just, hold on. Okay, there we go. So it works. Now to make your model do the same, you're going to want to do the same thing for the model. So let's say I want to make her blank. So you have your face manipulation and you're on the model, like you selected the model and you want to make her blank. So you want to register the blanking and you will have all of it here. Sometimes it'll be in random letters. You're going to have to like play around and see which one is which. But blank is in English right now, so you register that. And then for 5 frames, I'm going to have her, 5 frames later, I'm going to have her close her eyes. And then another 5 frames, I'm going to make her open her eyes again. The same applies for the bones, which are what makes the model move. And you would rotate, okay, so that the circles with the dot inside can only be rotated. The boxes are for moving around, like you can move them around, like up, down, so those circles are only for rotating. Don't worry about the circles with the X's on them. They're not really important. I mean, they are important, but you don't ever use them. So you rotate the model's arm to like a position that you want it to be in. And then it'll take 30 frames or 50 frames for her face to go back up, depending how long, like how slow you want her head to move up. I want to say 60 frames or about 50 frames equals 1 second. I'm not really sure. I haven't calculated it, but that's my guess. So you bring her head back up. So there we go. She's animated. If you want to make your MMD videos more fancy, you want to get MME. I'll post the link on how to get MME. So to use MME, you click on it and you click Effect Mapping. Then you select the model that you want, and then you can download effects on DA or on YouTube, or if you Google search MME effects. So let's use I'll use the adult shader. And as you can see, it changed. You can also use, some effects are going to be identified as accessories, meaning you can only upload them through the accessory manipulation. As you can see, it changed, if you can see it. And then the light manipulation is for the light. I actually use the light manipulation as like another MME effect, if you want to call it. And this is how I use the lighting for my effect. Now that you have your effects and you played around with your camera and your lighting and your model, if you want to upload a stage, you can. Some stages will be marked as for models or for accessories. I will use a model that's uploaded for as a model, and you can get those on DA or on YouTube or anywhere else where you can find MMD stuff. I will use a heart stage. It's more like a platform actually, and it's right here. But wait, hold on. Because I want to make a point on this. Let's see. Hopefully this is the right one. Okay, so my point has been made right here. Okay, so you see the ground has become gray. So in order to get rid of that, you would click on View and you would uncheck the Display Ground Shadows and it'll go away. And you always want to get rid of that anyway. Always. Make your videos look better. And then if And then you have backgrounds that upload as accessories, and it works the same way. And you can tell the difference between them because accessory files are X files and model files are PMD or PMX, and your motion files are VMD, and then your music is WAV. And if you want to upload a picture on MMD, you would go click on background and you would click load background picture. Just gonna use this random, and it'll just appear. If you want to upload a video, you actually can. You can load a background AVI file, but it has to be AVI. If you want to, I don't really know any places to convert AVI videos into AVI files, but you could always upload your video on YouTube, copy and paste the link onto this website that will go on and I'll post in the description. You would change the MP3 to AVI, and then you would convert it. But that's only if you upload it to YouTube. Oh, this is actually an AVI file. Okay. So the Yuri on Ice opening is going to be on here, and it'll actually play. See, look, it's that playing in the background. That's funny. I didn't even know I had that AVI. So anyway, that's mostly the basics for MMD. I hope that helped. Oh, and one more thing. You would click on display to make the bottle invisible and reappear. And the same goes for stages and accessory files as well. And there you go. That's how you use MMD.